What's up, boys and girls? It's your boy Jade. So this is kind of the first video, so I thought it'd be good to just give a basic introduction. Um, well, as you can see, I'm shirtless, and I'm going to be coding. There's kind of nothing more to it. This is kind of just a way for me to do projects and showcase some cool projects. Yeah, there's nothing much to it. So I thought it'd be interesting to build my own Git, specifically in Rust. So this is a good learning opportunity for me. Not only am I going to be able to learn more about Rust, but also learn how one of the widely used version control protocols is created. Okay, so I've already done a bit of coding here. As you can see, I have rgit here, but let's go ahead and just remove everything in here and recreate it because I just want to start from scratch. You can see we just removed all this, whatever. We're going to do this starting over. Okay, I'm already... Okay. Anyways, let's do... So what was it? Cargo init. And let's do... Okay. So then let's just do... So we're gonna essentially create a workspace. Okay, so then we're gonna do members. We're just gonna equal rgit client and rgit server. Oh, we'll just do CLI. Okay. Now, if I do nvim cargo toml and then I get rid of this, and then I do cargo builds. Okay, let's do nvim cargo toml, and then we'll do resolver equals 3. Okay, that's fine. I'll do this. Okay. The first step, as you can see, is we're going to create a head, config, description, hooks, info, objects, and reps. We need essentially a CLI to have the init an empty repository. So let's get started with that. So I'm going to create a new branch. First, I'm going to add all of these. Net workspace. Okay, now we're going to do a new branch. Episode 1. Okay. So we're going to do rgit client CLI and so we need to use clap, which will be useful for creating arguments. So let me just share this. So we're going to be using basically clap, which is a command line argument parser. So this will allow me to essentially just parse the arguments, and I don't have to write my own parser. So, okay. So what I'm going to do, let's do rgit CLI cargo adds clap features derive. So that should add this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, let's see, cd source, and then I'm going to make a directory called command. And then in command, I'm going to touch mod.rs. So, okay. So then in this, I'm going to do this mod command here. And then let's just use clap, and we're going to use the parser and the subcommand thing. Oops. Now we're going to derive parser. Oops. And we're going to command version as well as about pub struct args. So we're going to have a command, subcommand, command, and then we're going to have pub command, which is going to be command. Okay. So we're going to have derive, and we're going to have a subcommand. I'm also not, wait, this is wrong. So this is going to be pub enum command this. So this should be okay now, right? So now we'll have the init an empty argit repository. So we'll have init, which will take a name, which is going to be a path buffer, okay, here. And we'll also have a description, which is just going to be an option string. So an optional description. Now this is going to be an arg, which has short and long. Same with this one. And this is going to have name of the argit repository. And this is going to have description of the repository. Right. So now what it allows us to do is essentially go into here. Oh, let me just make sure. And I can do let args equals args here parse. Should be able to do that. Let me double check. Use clap parser so that I can actually have this, and I have this mod. Okay. Unused variable. We can get rid of this. So now if I do this, let's just make sure that it builds. Okay, whatever. That's fine. We can add, oh, oops. Git add, git commit, creating init command. So right now it doesn't really do anything, which is fine. So we need to actually create essentially handlers that we can call. But just to first check that things are like being properly parsed, let's actually like use a match args.command here. And I think this needs to be this command like this so that we can actually match the commands. Command, and we'll do command init, with the name and description. And right now that we'll just like print line init. Okay. I also want something like this, so we have a result of this or a string, which we can handle later, but right now we're just gonna have like okay this, which is fine. Okay. Let's see. Cargo run r get CLI dash init. I think that cargo run could not determine which binary run use bin. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we have to do run bin target CLI this. Okay, and so it says unexpected argument init. So how do I do this? I think if I just do this. Oh wait, not this. This. I think I have to do it like this. Init name. Okay, required argument name test. Oh, okay. Like this? Okay, cool. Init. So that works. Okay. So basically then what I'm gonna do, target CLI, make a CD source, make directory called, we'll call it handler, and CD handler. Okay, so I realized also another way I could be creating new files. So let's actually like create new files here. We're gonna do mod rs, which we're gonna do here. And then we're gonna also create a new file under here, which is gonna be called handle init. Okay, we're just gonna do mod handle init, and we're gonna pub use handle init this way. Then we're going to go into here, and we're gonna do mod handler here. So that should be good. Now in handle init, essentially we want to make sure, hey, popcorn. So we're going to have pub function handle init, which is going to take a name, path buff. No, not that, sorry. Path buff. And it's also going to take a description, which is optional string. And it is going to return a result here, string. Okay. So we're going to do that. Oh, okay. I'll just do to do. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to have a few constants in here, just because it's like easier to manage, which is going to be the directory name, which is just going to be a static string, which will just equal our get. We're going to have the head file name. Like, maybe it's not necessary to do this but it's just to avoid like static or like floating strings. Config file name is going to equal config, and then we're going to have the description file name description. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to actually create the directory first. So let's actually just break these down into like separate functions, even though it's not, maybe it's like a bit overkill. I think it just makes things a bit more readable. So we're going to have create our Git directory, and this is going to be so we'll do pathbuff first, and this will return. So we actually want the name of the directory, this, and a standard IO error, because we're actually going to be like creating this. And here, let's actually get rid of this, just so that it's a bit easier to see. So let our get dir path is going to equal name.join, and we're going to do that with this. So essentially, like, the name is kind of the full path name, and we're going to join it with, so it'll be something like // like name / .rgit similar to how like GitHub creates like a .git file. So we're going to use fs, which is this, and we're going to create directory all, and we're going to do our git directory path .as path, and if there's an error, then sure, and then if it's okay, then we'll just return this back. So the first step is, for now, we're just going to do create a directory with the name. Okay, so we will call let our git dir path equals create this, and we'll pass in the name, and we will map the error, because we want a string, and right now we're getting an IO string, to e format failed to create directory in this. So I'll pass this, and then we'll pass the error, and we'll do this. Also, I'm just going to return this, just because, like, this. We're going to do cargo, what was it? This. Example. Okay. So now, if you see, wait, did it not create the example? Okay, I need to init, and I will do this, not this. Okay. Do there we go. There, our Git is created. Okay. I did some exploring and have something now that's like easier to open up the terminal. So yeah, should be easier. So anyways, now when I run this, the example is set. So if you look at the instructions, we have the initialized, the rgit directory that we're going to put things within, and that's just kind of like we have. So we're going to need a few other things. The configuration, head, and description. So let's just work on these three for now. So let's go ahead and we need to create the head file. So we're just going to have create head file, and we will have just the root directory path and path buffer here. And again, we'll have the results, which will be a nothing and a standard IO error here. So now we're going to do let head file path equal the rget directory path, and we're going to join it with the head file name. So after that, we're just going to create the head file path, and yeah, we'll just return nothing if that's the case. And of course, we will need to, I don't know how to like resolve these issues. So like with it so far, like auto import. So we'll use file here. Okay. Failed to resolve use of declared fs. Oh, okay. So we'll also need self and this. Okay. So now we're going to create the head path. So that should work when we call create head file. Okay. We'll just do create head file, and we're going to put the root directory path here, and we will map the error. We're probably just going to copy this, paste it here. Failed to create head file in here. Yes. Root directory path. Oh, this is not root. This should be our get directory path, and this should be not root directory path, but our get, and this is our get. Okay. Oh, dir path. Okay. Now here's something I saw last time. It said writing path buff instead of path involves a new object with a slice. So let's get rid of this and just do this, and we'll do this path. Oops. This. Now, I wonder if this can be a path as well. And I don't know if we need this. Does not have the copy path. Okay, I think this is okay to have this as a path buff, which is fine. Okay, let's actually just see. So if we do this, we should have an example file with a head. So example example, and should have we have this arget, and we have head. So that's good. Okay, we're gonna remove our example. Okay. So now, actually, instead of this, we'll do git add, git commit, create head file. Okay, so that's good. Let's create the configuration file first. Sorry. Create config file. So that's going to be our git directory path, and we're going to have the same where we have this and this, standard IO error, and this. So it should be basically the exact same, but config file path. And I know like people are going to be like, well, this is like pretty redundant. I could just do like a create, and maybe that's what I should do, but I'm just going to set it up like this for now. Let this equals file create, and we're going to do config file path. Okay. And then we will do create config file, and we will do create config file. This, and we'll do this. There. So now the configuration should be good. If we run it, this, we should have a config file. Although, let's see, example, our git. Okay, you can see there. So git of our example, it's adding config file. Okay, so we have that. That's good. Now we're going to go back to what I said about the description file. We're going to create a config function, create description file. So that's going to have our git path as well as the description, which is going to be an optional. Actually, at this point, it's like we will always have the content, so it'll either be empty or nothing. So again, it'll be the result, this standard IO error. Okay. Now, so it's going to be very similar, but except we're going to have to write here description file path, which is going to be equal to the rgit directory.join join description file path here. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to actually have the file mute description file, which will equal file create, and we will do description file path, and then here description file path dot write. Where's the write? I think we have to like I think we have to do something like this, description dot as bytes, and we'll do something like this and this. So I think we have to import the write all, use standard IO prelude. We're just gonna do that. I think that should be good. Write all, maybe it's right. Oh, I have to use this, and maybe I do IO write here. I think that is right, but I think I can only do write found for this. IO.write. This might also description file. Oh, I think I need to do just description file.write. So then we do all here. Maybe here. Yeah. Do I even need this? No. Okay. Write all of the bytes to it, and now we need to actually call this. So we will just determine it based on here. So let's do match description here. Some description. So if we actually have one, then we're going to call create description file. This here description will be description here, and we will do a map to error here. Oops. Here map failed to create, failed to, hey, oh my god, my cat. Failed to create description file. We'll just do this. We don't need name. Okay. Now, so we have that. If it's nothing, then, so we have this. And we're going to do the exact same thing, except that instead of this, we're just going to pass in string from this. Right. So then after this, we're just going to do print line. We're going to do initialized repo. And we will have this and name. Okay. I think that should be good. We're gonna have nothing as a description, but everything should be fine. So first we're going to run this. No. Okay, well, we don't need the, where's the other print line? Print line. Okay, well, we don't need that. Okay, cool. So anyways, we have this. It doesn't show hidden. I don't know how to fix that. The example, cd.rget, and we should have the description. So description right now is going to be empty. That's fine. Now let's try it where we actually have something. Description, hello. Okay. Example.rget cat description. There. Help. What?